I'm going to be especially annoying for the next month or two, because I would say of any IP or whatever that I'm a Vorthos of, Silver Age Spider-Man. It's like, I can tell you all the shit that happens. Every key character, I can tell you the first issue they debuted in. If you show me a cover and scrub the number off of, I can tell you what the issue number is. This predates Magic for me. It predates Dungeons and Dragons. I was into this when I was like 8 or 9 years old. So I've only seen so far the white/Bant Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I've seen the Saga. I like the Spider-Man. The Saga is a little bit of a miss for me. Nick Miller pointed out to me, and like I agree that the Saga kind of makes it seem like the Spider is the hero of the story and not Spider-Man. I think that's a fair critique. I think the Spider-Man design is pretty sweet, like totally over an acceptable bar for me. But I'm really just excited to... I mean, I know that I love the Rogues Gallery more than they do. So am I going to finally get my fancy Dan Montana Ox cards? I doubt it. But even a little of that sort of fan service goes a long way. Did you see the alternate treatment of the front half of the Spider-Man as a Steve Ditko piece of Peter Parker getting bit? Yeah. And then the backside is the Spider-Man with the cover to Amazing Spider-Man #1 on it.
Yeah.
So what I love about that, I'm going to be going down some rabbit holes here.
Please do.
So to
Comic-Con this week.
To me, the greatest or my favorite Spider-Man artist is John Romita Sr. And he kind of picked up the ball a couple years in. So Ditko did Amazing Fantasy #15, and then he was the artist for the first couple of years. And then Romita had a really long run with it. And a difference in the artistic style, Romita's covers are very stark. They're very single image. The most iconic covers that you associate are just, there's like barely any words on them. What I like about tapping into Ditko for some of these alternate treatments, and I don't know how much of this is just Amazing Spider-Man #1, super iconic, people recognize it, whatever. Ditko's cover art is a lot noisier. There's a lot more, there's dialogue on the screen. There's more just like, the cover to Amazing Spider-Man #4, the first appearance of Sandman, the cover is literally 4 panels. It just looks like a page off the comic book. And a lot of the treatments that they do, you know, when they're doing these alternate treatments, Universes Beyond, Secret Lair type of stuff, it is kind of noisy and jarring to look at because it's like, where's even the fucking text box on this thing is sometimes the reaction. But Ditko's artistic style is already that. Like, it's very naturally, like, there's a lot of words and action on the card. So for me, as someone who's a fan of it, like, I look at that cover of Amazing Spider-Man #1 where there's like the vigilance and there's the text rolling down. I'm like, that just looks like the cover. If you put it in front of me, I wouldn't even notice it at first because it matches the art style so well to Steve Ditko. Personally speaking, I would love for some of the Romita Sr. covers. Like, those to me are just some of my favorite American pop culture art, full stop, is like his run with Amazing Spider-Man. If they came out with an Amazing Spider-Man #50 cover, that would be awesome. But I do appreciate Ditko as being a really smart selection of his artistic style already kind of matches the way these cards look.
Dude, I'm excited for the next month of you, 2 months really, because this shit doesn't even come out until September 26th.
Yeah. And to be clear, I was like, not an MCU fan. I'm talking about like Amazing Spider-Man, that run from, you know, Amazing Fantasy 15 to probably an issue 90 or so. That has a lot of significance to
You're
me.
really focused on the Silver Age stuff.
Yes.
Like, for instance, they just showed San Diego Comic-Cons this weekend, and they just unveiled the Spider-Verse product.
Okay.
With 20 new cards that are part of these theme decks that are going to be legal. I wonder, what's the mix going to be in terms of, are there like going to be 3 different Spider-Man sets at the same time? Are the cards in this going to also be in the Spider-Man set that's coming out?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean,
because there's kind of a lot happening with Spider-Man all at once, which...
No, I mean, they're going to have to do a blend of both, because a lot of the most iconic villains from Amazing Spider-Man are overwhelmingly early on in the comic books run. That's where the core comes from. It's really only Venom and Carnage that I would point to as being like relatively modern editions. Anyone that you think of as a member of Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery, like a villain, almost certainly came in the first 50 or so issues. However, if you're looking to get additional superheroes that are they're not Avengers, they're not X-Men, they are allies of Spider-Man or part of that universe, those overwhelmingly came much later. You know, the Miles Morales and Ghost Spider type of stuff. Like that's really recent. So trying to blend those things together, I'm curious how they do it because the villains are overwhelmingly of one era and the superheroes are overwhelmingly of the latter.
Like it's kind of felt like there's two different sets going on here. But I don't know. I mean, I do appreciate the little things. Like if you're going to have Electro, it's kind of sweet having Shock.
Of course.
Did you see they have Shock?
I did not see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fun. There was a lot of love and care going on. Just like I really got a feeling you're going to have the experience for this set that I had for Final Fantasy of it being like appreciated the amount of love and care that went into.
Yeah. Electro, AKA Max Dillon, first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man #9. He appears on the cover holding a bag with a $sign on it, and Spider-Man is touching him and being electrocuted. And that is a Ditko cover that can speak to a little bit of like, and that one's actually pretty tight as far as Ditko covers go, but it's like kind of, there's a lot going on. There's word bubbles and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's not just Amazing Spider-Man #1. Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, I really hope they do a Green Goblin with that cover because that cover is like just so noisy. Just, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm ready to geek out for a little while. I also told Cedric, I was like, if I see some shit I don't like, that I'm just going to be texting you complaining about shit.
Yeah, I would make sure to have your expectations in the right spot because I do think this set's going to have a lot of other ages too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think that they unveiled some of the Silver Age stuff as a product that's kind of sweet but I do think they're going to really tap into the full range of Spider-Man extended universe.
I've got no.
So, I appreciate that they're actually making a bunch of these Spider-Man cards are really good.
I mean, I got introduced to actually sort of the new era of the stuff through my kids because there's cartoons on Disney Plus or whatever. But I was having a conversation with Griffin and they were like, Gwen Stacy is Ghost Spider. And I'm like, I've never heard of Ghost Spider, but I do know who Gwen Stacy is. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Griffin, Gwen Stacy's dead.
Ooh,
and Griffin's like, no, it's Ghost Spider. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it would be really weird if you just knew who Gwen Stacy was out of nowhere. And then watched the show, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, good. That's great.
Dude, you got to get up on the Spider-Verse stuff because it's pretty good. It's something different.
Yeah.
But it is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm very excited for preview season, and I'm going to be looking at things through a slightly different lens than I typically do. The whole Cedric is like, if you make all the Sinister Syndicate characters black, I'm going to be pissed off. They're more interesting than that.
Oh, yeah.
Is Dr. Octopus has some lazy design that calls out the number 8. You've done that with a bunch of octopi. Give me some juice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Been trying to get my kids into the 1980s Spider-Man cartoon. It's much more serious, but they try.
They're a little young.
God bless them, they try. But they're just, and also some of the technology, like someone's got a rotary phone. They're like, what is that? So it's like a little tough, but yeah, I'm ready to go. I can't wait for that.